What's going on, guys? Super Insane 18 here, and today we are showing you 6 must-know Marincess combos, so let's go ahead and jump on in. So for combo number 1, it is going to be a 1-card combo with just Marincess Blue Tang. Let me show you guys what it is. We are going to normal summon the Blue Tang and use its effect to send our copy of Marincess Seahorse to our graveyard, and then we can link away the Blue Tang into our copy of Blue Slug. Here we'll activate Blue Slug as Chainlink 1 and Blue Tang as Chainlink 2. Chainlink 1 for the Slug, we will target our Seahorse, and just for the sake of the video, we are going to completely whiff off of the Blue Tang effect, so we don't get to add anything because I want to show you guys the strength of being able to do this off just one card. And we will resolve the Blue Slug by adding back our Seahorse. Then we can activate the Seahorse to special summon to a zone that a Marincess monster points to, and immediately link the Seahorse away into a copy of Sea Angel. Here we can activate the Sea Angel on summon to add a Marincess spell or trap, and we are going to go ahead and add the Battle Ocean, which we can just immediately activate. Then we can use our Slug and our Angel to summon our copy of Coral Anemone. Here, the Coral Anemone effect can activate to reborn any of our Marincess monsters to a zone that it points to. So let's go ahead and just reborn the Seahorse, and then we can take both of these and link them away into a copy of Coral Triangle. Here we will activate the effect of Marincess Battle Ocean as Chainlink 1, and the effect of the Anemone as Chainlink 2. The Anemone will target any of our Marincesses in grave and add it to our hand. We want to make sure that it is a non-link because we need something to discard, so let's go ahead and just add back our Seahorse to our hand. And then the Battle Ocean will resolve, equipping our 3 monsters to the Coral Triangle. So now the Coral Triangle is essentially gaining 2,000 attack, 200 from the effect of the Battle Ocean, as well as another 600 from each of the equips. So this is a 3,500 Coral Triangle. We can then activate the Coral Triangle effect to discard a Marincess to search our copy of Wave, and that's going to be our turn. So we're going to hold the Wave in our hand, because since we have a Link 3 or higher, we can activate it from our hand, and essentially it's just an infinite impermanence or effect veiler. Target a monster your opponent controls and negate its effect, but more importantly, it also makes all of our monsters unaffected, so as soon as we activate this, this is no longer able to be affected by your opponent's card effects. So not only did you get a negate, but you also made it so that you're guaranteed to still have your board at the end of the day, and this really isn't that bad because you still have 4 other cards in your hand, which could be hand traps or anything else, so you never know, but that is going to be the first combo. Combo number 2 is another Blue Tang 1-card combo, and it's going to end with relatively the same result, but a slightly better board. So we're going to go ahead and normal summon our Blue Tang, activate the Blue Tang effect to send the Seahorse, same as before, and the exact same play, we're going to go ahead and link into our Blue Slug, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. We're going to make sure that we whiff, just to show you guys that you don't need to get the add off of the Blue Tang. So we don't hit anything on the Blue Tang effect, but we do get to add the Seahorse back to our hand, which we will immediately special to the Blue Slug zone, and same as before, link it away into our Sea Angel. Now here, when we activate the Sea Angel, we're actually going to search for the Dive instead of the Battle Ocean, because we're not really worried about making sure we have equipped monsters at this point, because the monster that we're going to summon is bigger and a little bit better. But here we're going to do the same thing as the last time. We're going to go ahead and link into our Coral Anemone, and Coral Anemone will go ahead and reborn anything. Once we do that, we can take the Coral Anemone and the Seahorse and link into our copy of Coral Triangle. We will activate the Anemone effect to add back our Seahorse so that we have a discard for the Coral Triangle. The Coral Triangle will activate its effect, discarding the Seahorse to add us our copy of Wave. And now here what we'll do is we'll go ahead and activate our Dive, summoning back any of our Marincess from our graveyard, and then we can link these away into our copy of Bubble Reef. So now, even though we don't have a really big monster with additional equips, we still have our Searched Wave, which will make this unaffected, as well as acting as an infinite impermanence type effect. But we still have 4 cards in our hand, and on our opponent's standby, the Great Bubble Reef will be able to banish any of our Marincess cards to draw a card, maybe getting us another interaction as well. So it's essentially the same board, just with a little bit of a different step to get you a bigger monster that allows you to draw on on both standbys. Combo number 3 is yet another 1-card Blue Tang combo, but I do want to just preface this with, I forgot to mention at the start, you can do almost all of these combos if you open up either Seahorse or Spring Girl as well. It's just, you need to kind of sequence it a little bit different, but you can still do them. I'm just showing you the Blue Tang because it is the best starter, but keep that in mind. This one is going to end in an even stronger board. We are going to go ahead and normal summon the Blue Tang, and same as always, activate the effect sending the Seahorse. You've seen this twice already, so we're just going to blow through it. We're going to link away into the Blue Slug, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. We are going to completely whiff the Blue Tang effect to show you guys that we don't need it. And then we can add the Seahorse back to our hand and immediately summon it. Here we will use the Seahorse to make the Sea Angel, and then the Sea Angel this time is going to add us our Battle Ocean again. Now this is where the sequencing gets slightly different because we need a little bit extra link materials. So we're going to go ahead and use the Sea Angel and the Blue Slug to make a copy of Splash Mage. Now the Splash Mage can summon either the Blue Tang or the Seahorse back from our graveyard. Let's go ahead and just summon the Seahorse in defense position, and then with 2 water monsters we can go ahead and make the Coral Anemone. Now the reason this was an important step is because the Coral Anemone can resummon any water monster with 1500 or less attack, which just so happens to be our Splash Mage. So using the Coral Anemone, we will summon back out our Splash Mage, and before we continue, we will go ahead and activate our Battle Ocean. Then with the Coral Anemone and the Splash Mage, we can go ahead and summon out the Aqua Argonaut. We will Chainlink 1 our Battle Ocean and Chainlink 2 our Coral Anemone. The Anemone will add back the Blue Tang, so we have follow-up for our next turn. The Battle Ocean will equip all 3 of our Marincess Link monsters, which makes the Argonaut live. For those of you who don't know, the Argonaut can negate any spell or trap by resummoning out any of your equipped Marincess monsters, which what you're going to do is when you actually use its effect to negate, you're going to bring back out the Coral Anemone, which gives you additional follow-up for the next turn as well. But you would do something like this in a very spell trap heavy matchup, like if you're against something like Sky Striker, or you would do this if you've already opened up your Marincess wave and don't need to search it, but definitely a really strong board because this is now a 4300 attack monster that is a spell trap negate, and just honestly really good. Alright, and now we're getting into some of the spicier plays with combo number 4. It is a 2-card combo with the Pascalis and the Blue Tang. Let's show you guys what it is because it's actually really cool. You're going to start by normal summoning out your Pascalis, which on summon can special a Marincess from your hand. So we're going to special the Blue Tang and activate the Blue Tang effect to send our copy of Seahorse to the graveyard. Next we will take the Blue Tang and summon out the Sea Angel, which we will activate the Sea Angel as Chainlink 1 and the Blue Tang as Chainlink 2. As always, we are going to intentionally whiff the Blue Tang to show you guys that it does not matter, but then the Sea Angel is going to resolve and add us our copy of Dive. Now we can activate the Dive to reborn our copy of Blue Tang, and then we can overlay the Basilisk and the Blue Tang into a copy of Bahamut Shark. Activating the effect of the Bahamut Shark, we can go ahead and summon out our copy of Totally Awesome. So now we have an Omni Negate on our field, and we are not even done. We will use the Sea Angel and the Bahamut to go into our copy of Coral Anemone, and here we will activate the effect of Coral Anemone, reborning any of our non-links. It does not matter which one. So we will reborn the Seahorse, and then using the Seahorse, we will go into our Blue Slug, and then Blue Slug will activate and let us add the Seahorse back to our hand. Now we can use the Slug and the Anemone to go into our copy of Coral Triangle, which will activate the Anemone effect since it went to the graveyard, and we will add back either the Pascalis or the Blue Tang. It has to be a non-link because we need it in our hand, and the reason we need that in our hand is to activate the Coral Triangle. So we will go ahead and discard whichever one we added for the Coral Triangle to add us our copy of Marincess Wave. Now we still have a Seahorse that we haven't used, so we can go ahead and special summon out our Seahorse and link the Coral Triangle and the Seahorse into the copy of Great Bubble Reef, which means that we will also be able to get a draw on our opponent's standby as well. So off 2 cards, we were able to search Wave, still have 3 cards left in our hand. We have an Omni Negate. Once we use the wave, all of our monsters will become unaffected. Once we use the Omni Negate, we can add back any of our water monsters, and on our opponent's standby, the Bubble Reef will draw us another card, which is hopefully a hand trap to use on their turn. Combo number 5 is going to be another 2-card combo, and I wanted to show you guys at least one Crystal Heart line of play because before the new support, Crystal Heart was a very important card, but now it's kind of an afterthought. It's still a very strong option though, so I wanted to show you guys what it can do. We are going to start off the same as always by normal summoning the Blue Tang, but since we opened the Seahorse, we are going to activate the effect sending the copy of Mandarin from our deck to our grave instead. Now, if you open the Mandarin instead of the Seahorse, you can just send the Seahorse instead, so just kind of flip-flop those back and forth, but you're more likely to open the Seahorse since you're playing 3 copies of it versus the 1 Mandarin, so I'm showing it to you this way. We will then link the Blue Tang away into our copy of Blue Slug, and we will chain the effects the same way as always. Slug as Chain Link 1 and Tang as Chain Link 2, but this time the Slug is going to target the Tang to add it back to our hand. So now we're going to intentionally whiff on the Blue Tang, because again, I want to show you guys that it is not important to actually hit off of that, and then we can just add the Blue Tang back to our hand. Here we are going to special summon out our Sea Angel or our Seahorse and link it into our Sea Angel, as we always do, activating the Sea Angel effect to add us our copy of Battle Ocean. Now, before we link into the Anemone, we are going to activate our Mandarin, which is very important, because we have 2 Marincess monsters. We can summon it to a zone a Marincess points to, but it is banished when it leaves the field. Here we will take our Slug and our Mandarin, and we will link those into our copy of Crystal Heart, and it's important that we do it this way because when in the extra monster zone, Crystal Heart is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. So just in case they have anything here, this is a good way to at least protect one thing on your board. And let me go ahead, we have to banish the Mandarin, but then you take the Crystal Heart and the Sea Angel, and you go into the Coral Anemone. Now, the Coral Anemone can activate its effect and summon back out the Crystal Heart, and before going any further, we have to activate our Battle Angel. Now, or our Battle Ocean. Now, the Battle Ocean says that when you link summon a Marincess monster using Crystal Heart as material, that monster becomes unaffected, so you're not relying on your wave to make it unaffected. So once we're at this point, you have 2 different lines of play that you can do. You can take both the Crystal Heart and the Anemone, and you can link it into either the Coral Triangle or the Aqua Argonaut. Now, the reason you can flip-flop or change these back and forth is if you want to search a copy of Wave, you can go ahead and use the Coral Triangle, so let's show you that line here. So on summon, we will Chainlink 1 Battle Ocean, Chainlink 2 the Anemone. Anemone will add back the Seahorse, and the Battle Ocean will equip 3. Usually I leave the Crystal Heart in the graveyard just so that we can recur it if we need to. But then you can use the Coral Triangle to go ahead and search your copy of Wave. So that is how you get your Wave out while making this unaffected and plus 2000 attack. Or if you already have your Wave or feel like you don't need it, you link both into the Aqua Argonaut, you still get to add back your Seahorse, and now you have a Spell Trap negate with guaranteed follow-up for your next turn, all with this being unaffected since it was made with the Crystal Heart. Now for the 6th and final combo, we can put Totally Awesome out before we're able to be Nibiru, so let's go ahead and show you guys because this deck does struggle with Nibiru. We're going to start things off by summoning out the Pascalis and using its effect to summon out our Blue Tang. On summon, the Blue Tang can activate, sending our copy of Seahorse, and then for our 3rd summon, we can go ahead and overlay both into the Bahamut Shark, and with the Bahamut Shark detaching specifically the Blue Tang, we can make our 4th summon the Totally Awesome. So now we are protected from Nibiru. Here we will activate our Marincess Dive and resummon out our copy of Blue Tang. Here we can use the Blue Tang to summon out our copy of Blue Slug and chain the effects as we always have. Chainlink 1 Slug, Chainlink 2 Tang. Tang is going to intentionally whiff so that we show you that it does not matter. And then we will use the Slug and add back our copy of Seahorse. Here we will activate the Seahorse and then link it away into our copy of Sea Angel. Sea Angel on summon will add us our copy of Battle Ocean. Here we are going to do something similar to Combo 2. We are going to use the Sea Angel and the Slug into the Splash Mage, and Splash Mage can go ahead and reborn out our Seahorse. Here we can use the Seahorse and the Splash Mage to go into our copy of Coral Anemone, And then Coral Anemone can go ahead and reborn out a card. We can go ahead and use the Splash Mage. Now here we have a split line of play as well. If you want to keep the Bahamut Shark because you're intending on putting Toad back with his own effect, you can go ahead and do so, and then you can just turn these two into the Aqua Argonaut. Or what you can do before that is you can go ahead and turn the Anemone and the Bahamut into our copy of Crystal Heart, and then we will activate our Battle Ocean before doing our final summon. The Crystal Heart and the Splash Mage can go into the Aqua Argonaut. Really quick, let me backtrack. I forgot to use the Anemone. The Anemone is going to add back either the Tang or the Dive. You want to probably add back the Tang because the Pascalis can add the Dive back on the next turn anyway. But so we still have a follow-up for the next turn. Then the Battle Ocean will activate, equipping 3 of our Marincess. And now, since this was made with the Crystal Heart, it is unaffected. So we have an Omni Negate, a Spell Trap Negate, a guaranteed follow-up for our next turn, Recursion for our Dive with the Pascalis. This will bring our Coral Anemone out for even more extension on our next turn, and honestly just a very incredible line of play. And there you guys have it. That is going to be 6 must-know combos for the Marincess deck. I definitely have more on the way as well, so if you want to see that, make sure to absolutely destroy the like button, because the more likes it gets, the more it shows me that you guys want to see more of these combos. So you guys know the deal. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, comment, share with your friends, and maybe consider supporting me on Patreon, because for just $1, you can support the channel in a way that I would never be able to tell you how much I fully appreciate. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.